Good morning. I am Dante. This is Leanne Zig. Welcome to Dante and Leanne in the morning. How have you been?
Great. I've been really good, but I've also been really sad.
Really sad?
Yeah, we just got back from tour last week. It was freaking awesome.
It was pretty fucking fun.
Thank you for coming with us.
You're welcome. I had a great fucking time.
It was only 4 days, but it was 4 days jam-packed with fun. I was not disappointed with anything at all. It was freaking awesome. So, yeah, we started off in Philadelphia, then we went to New York at St. Vitus, then Chameleon Club in Lancaster, and then we finished at Strange Matter in Virginia.
Which, I think Strange Matter was my favorite night.
Yeah, mine too, for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
Mostly because the show was really good.
Yeah, not because of the full moon or anything. No.
Well, I like that butt. I don't know. That butt made it a good night for sure.
That butt will make its appearance. So.
Okay, right on. But so many cool things happened that were just like unexpected. People were good sports about our bullshit. But that night we also stayed at Dorothea's house from Winham. And she is an angel and a saint for putting us up. And
she was just as rowdy as we were.
Yeah. I never really got to spend as much time with her as I've wanted in my life. But you could say we hit it off, especially in the morning. You and Elise disappeared to go have breakfast, so she had to entertain me all morning. And
yeah, we went to go have breakfast with Herbie from Valiant Thor and Braden Corbin from the fucking WWE Superstar.
Well, I wasn't invited.
You weren't too. You just didn't want to wake up in time. Wasn't that you weren't invited. You
I
just
don't
didn't
remember.
wake up enough. That's all.
I'm just kidding. I don't know, but it was good. We went for a walk. We just kind of did nothing for a while. Talked shit on some people. Called it a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Got nasty ass pizza.
I don't know. I am happy with any food whatsoever, so I'm not gonna complain.
I had
but
a banging ass breakfast. So
yeah, I was pretty hungover. So anything was.
Yeah,
cool.
that was probably the biggest party night of the tour, probably.
Unintentionally.
It was last night, so it's acceptable.
Night. Yeah. But I don't know. I can't stress enough how fun it was and how stoked Heavy Temple is to have been included. Yeah. On the tour with Royal Thunder and Backwoods Payback.
Yeah.
I was that's now brings me to the reason why I'm sad is because it's over. So I'm gonna have to start scheming some new things for this year.
Post-tour, yeah.
Yeah.
Post-tour depression.
Well, Heavy Temples, we've got some things up our butts. You know, we're planning some new tour stuff, recording stuff. It's gonna be a good year. I'm really stoked about it.
Yeah.
Yes. But touring is not necessarily a new thing for you, from my understanding. Even though you're not in a band, you've still been invited and have participated in other tours. What can you...
Well,
go ahead.
Not as many as a photographer as I used to back in the early 2000s when I just kind of roadied and helped out on tours. I just kind of did a lot of the shit I did when I wasn't taking pictures, helping you guys, like carry shit, fucking just be there for support, like Yob in 2001.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
It was like 4 or 5 days up and down the West Coast. That was pretty fantastic. They just put out their first album at that time. They've been a band for a long time.
Yeah, it's over 15 years ago.
It's over 17 years ago.
I guess. Yeah. You're the smart one. Continue. Sorry.
That is probably one of the more memorable ones. I used to tour a bunch with a band called Nyarlathotep. I guess they go by Nyarlathotep Rising. If you look for their recording stuff, it was a black metal band out of Portland.
Okay.
Good friends of mine, and it was just going down the road with friends kind of thing. As a photographer, some of the more recent stuff, went out with Sagicacia on their last tour that they did. There's rumors of them possibly getting back together and doing some more stuff. Rumors.
Okay.
And did some Hive Lord stuff with Haven. Mostly smaller bands and smaller vans. I don't. It's fine. I mean, I like small stuff.
Do you do it for fun, or is this something that, like, I don't know.
I mean, I love being on the road. Like,
Yeah.
I love traveling. I love doing that stuff. It's great to. I like that. It's always a bonding experience. It's always and a good time. It's unpredictable. I like things. I like chaos. So things like that make me happy.
That's why we get along.
Yeah.
We both have a love for chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Disorganized, safe, fun.
It's not always safe, but
No. Well, I don't know. I prefer things to stay safe. You called me out on tour. You're like, you have no tattoos. You don't like danger.
But you don't have to like tattoos. Like, there's nothing.
You said it.
I know. I'm because you were complaining about not having any tattoos. You're like, I don't have. It's like, but that's fine if you don't. It's more rare, I think, now to not have tattoos than it is to have them.
I guess that's true.
Like,
I don't know. Like, I want one or some, but I have never just decided I'm just gonna spend money on something that I'm not sure if, I don't know. I want to be stoked about. I haven't decided anything.
Well, no, that's fine. I mean, my first one I sat on for like 2-3 years before I got it.
Which was your first one?
It's down on my leg.
Oh.
It's I got it when I was 17.
Okay.
So.
When you were 17.
Well, I was living in Europe, in Finland, and it was perfectly. I don't know how it was.
Oh, when you were in
worked.
Finland?
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Cool.
My parents didn't know I was getting his first tattoo. I got in a spot where they couldn't see it.
See it right away?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you never wear shorts?
At that time, no. Which is probably a huge surprise to most people that know me, because how often am I not wearing shorts anymore?
Dude, you wore shorts in like the bitter cold as we were like crossing the tundra in New York.
But it wasn't. I mean, I wasn't completely wearing shorts. Like, I had long johns on. It's not the same.
Yeah, you're wearing like
my long johns are warmer than my long johns are warmer than my jeans.
Whatever. I'm sure you have some validation in your Dante mind why you're wearing shorts in the middle of winter.
Pockets.
True.
Pockets. They don't make cargo pants or any kind of pants with the same size pockets that fit my camera lenses.
Well, you need for lenses, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's utilitarian more than anything else. I know I look like an idiot, but it's utilitarian. So, I've tried to make my own like holsters and stuff like that. Like, it just, they don't make a lot of camera gear for like that you can so you can keep your gear close to your body.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not something. I've tried to come up with my own ideas and
like silly pants. That didn't make it to tour in time. Darn.
Silly pants that got returned, but yeah.
I'm disappointed that they didn't get to come along. I was really curious to know what silly pants were.
I returned them. Fuck that shit. I don't need pants. I got one pair of pants. I'm good. So.
Dante tried to get himself a pair of pants that the butt wouldn't get wet.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Waterproof.
I'm not familiar with...
The knees were waterproof too. They're like hiking pants and stuff like that. But you never know what you can end up possibly sitting in or kneeling in when you're in front of a photo pit, like in front of a stage. Like,
I just figured that you were anticipating on having so much fun you were going to shit your pants.
No, that was not the inclination.
I don't know.
I've been to lots of shows over the years, and you never know sometimes. And I like to be prepared. I'm a little bit of a Boy Scout. If you did not notice, anything you needed, I had somehow in my minimal shit that I had. Like,
I didn't need anything from you. Well, spending 4 days with Dante on the road, I learned a lot about him. He doesn't like fun whatsoever, and if he even smells that somebody else is having fun, he will cut that shit down. Spice Girls, gotta go. Plastic spoons, gotta go. Mints,
plastic spoons
gotta
are
go.
not fun. Mints? What the fuck are mints?
Oh.
Just because I don't accept mints from strangers or anyone?
I like mints, so I was eating a lot of mints, I guess. And every time I'd be like, would you like one? He's like, no. I was like, okay. So the next time I ate one was like, would you like one? And he was like, no. And then he was like, you don't have to keep asking me that because I don't accept mints from people. And I was like, what does that mean? He's like, I don't trust.
I don't accept any. It's a weird habit from living on the street. But yeah, I just don't trust things that other people give me.
Whatever. I was just trying to be nice.
I was trying to be as polite as possible to not be rude. Did not take it. But I fail at that usually. I'm very good at putting my foot in my mouth.
Yeah, you're better than me. But that's not like saying much. That's definitely not saying much at all. Yeah, but he doesn't like fun, so I wouldn't recommend to any of his...
so not fucking true.
No, it was like the first thing Vanessa said about you when I started coming over. Was that you don't like fun.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the context of the original statement was.
I totally disagree with that. Like, I did karaoke.
Oh, yeah. You did do karaoke. What you do enjoy doing is making fun of me and repeating things I say to anybody and everyone.
That's not true either. No. I wouldn't, if I didn't like you, I wouldn't even talk to you.
How many times did we have to hear about the fucking sea level thing?
Once, maybe twice, because it came up in the same day. And you brought it up, if I want to be more specific about it.
Okay. So the tale
because it was on
goes.
it was they if they watched last episode, the whole tale was in there, and you brought it up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot.
Yes.
I did watch the last episode, but only once because it just like pulls on the heartstrings because it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's me editing. I probably watched it like 12 times.
Aww.
Over this speed, that speed. And
well,
we have upgraded our audio system. Hopefully you'll be able to tell at home.
We were working in some trying conditions.
We were.
The bar was trying to function like a bar.
Yep.
While we're trying to broadcast. But we did our best. It's fine. It was a good time. I have no regrets about it. So, it was freaking sick.
No, but we got ourselves a mini soundboard and some real mics, so...
Yeah.
It's good.
So, we're upping ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I would say every episode gets
gets a little bit better.
Yeah.
It does.
So,
it's a growing process. We're all growing together.
It's a trial and error,
mm-hmm.
So, we're figuring it out together. Like friends do. So do you have any more photography projects?
I have a couple coming up. Probably I'm heading up to New York for Exhorter. They're playing 2 nights at St. Vitus.
When?
February 9th and 10th.
You're going for both nights?
I'm going for both nights. Get to cover both nights. So that should be fun. I enjoy some thrash. And before that, I have a shoot next week with a band. It's Jeshik, who is he plays the second half of the set in Absu and drums. He's not the main dude, because they do a double set when Absu plays, so he plays the second half on drums.
Sure.
And he's also in Woe, Infernal Stronghold, like a bunch of fucking kick-ass bands, and he has a new project with the guitarist from Set and Setting. And they're getting some photos done. And they're getting ready to send me over the release. So I'm looking forward to hearing it way before it's published.
Where are you going to shoot them?
We're still working on that. So we haven't gotten that all worked out yet. Maybe something in Chinatown. They have some good ideas. They have some ideas. I like that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I want ideas.
Versus
I want
it being
direction.
up to you.
Because that makes it so much more difficult to be like, oh my god, dude, you're gonna like this.
That's a lot of pressure to put on you.
It is. It's and they I don't know if people think that that's me. It's always my creative idea, but sometimes it's what do you want it? Working with bands, what do you want? What is the image you want presented? How do you want yourselves to be presented?
Right. I would want to be part of that creative process for sure and have a say, but I wouldn't want to be directing it. So typically, at least with Heavy Temple, we try to have some kind of concept or idea, and then if you have good ideas, we'll just
the last shot
together.
I did with you guys was I'm totally feeling the Queen Bohemian Rhapsody, and I was like, that's perfect. I know exactly how to make that happen. We totally made that happen.
Yes, we did.
I mean, everything else was all you, but the idea, the concept of the lighting is what I needed to be makeup and everything. That's all on the band. How you want to look, how you want to dress. that's on you guys. Like, but as far as I need to know how you want, what kind of atmosphere you need.
Well, you knocked it out of the park. I'd highly recommend Dante's services to anybody for any occasion. He's really good and flexible with photography stuff.
I don't really do weddings or anything along those lines, like, unless it's a friend. So.
Well, I saw pictures you did shoot for a wedding, and I thought it looked good.
Well, of course it looked good, but but no, like I said, I do them for friends. They put me. They're stress levels that I don't like to be at. So, weddings are high stress situations. Like,
from what I gather, yes.
Weddings are high stress situations. I am a pretty drama free individual, so
yeah, I can attest to that.
That's definitely that. But when this episode will air, it'll be Valentine's Day. So we know Leanne.
Don't look at me like that. I know where this is going. Don't look at me.
You know exactly where this is going. But we know Leanne has a fuck ton of admirers. Everybody loves Leanne. No, everybody absolutely loves Leanne.
You're making me blush.
Especially when she's on stage.
Oh, come on.
And so, what are some ideas and suggestions that your admirers should get you for Valentine's Day?
I am not a hard person to please. Let me stress that enough. First of all, you don't have to get me anything. I'm naturally very okay with nothing. I like beer. Miller High Life. A case of 30 is $19.
We just had a conversation how you were drinking better beer, so you didn't have to drink as much
That was
beer.
a private conversation. And now that you've outed me, I'm trying to drink less beer, so I've been buying really whatever beer that just has the highest like alcohol content. And so I'll have like 2 and be like, that feels like a good amount. Like, I'm done for the day.
Oh, yeah, it hits you different.
Yeah, so I've been trying to... It's part of my thing to be an adult. Is like, I should stop drinking 21-year-old beer and get to 26-year-old level beer. So I've been trying to... I'm just talking out of my fucking ass. I don't know. I like all beer, especially cheap beer. I like butts.
Send her pictures of your butt.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Send her pictures of your butt. Clothes, unclothed, doesn't matter.
Yeah, especially...
With faces drawn on it.
You can put a face on. I really like butts. Especially if you've got heavy temple underwear on there.
Yeah, it's for sale.
I will check that out. Yeah. $10 a pair. You can buy them from me. I'll sign it. I made them with my own 2 hands. Yeah. I also like wiener dogs. And I like it if you're funny and if you're nice. Dante, what have you been listening to?
What have I been listening to? I've been on a weird kick of like dance industrial, like very stuff that you'd expect to hear from like an 80s horror movie. Like super synthy, like Perturbator, Ghost. I hope I said that right. Ghost.
Yeah, you've mentioned them before.
Dance with the Dead. That's really, I don't know. I've been having a lot of work to do, so I've been wanting something that doesn't have, that I can just zone out and really work to.
But also something doesing make you like fall asleep, you know what I'm saying?
It does not make me fall asleep. Usually I'm dancing a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm not afraid to little bop at it.
Yeah. Bopping and editing. What Dante does on Tuesdays.
But what about you? What have you been listening to?
I've been wanting to mention, that I just keep forgetting to mention, King Woman. I love King Woman. We were supposed to play with them.
You missed them when they played.
When did they play?
They came through with Woven Hand, right?
When?
Was it? No, it's not Woven Hand. Yeah, they played at Comfy Necktie. I have some really great pictures. Yeah, within the last 6 months.
I didn't even know about it. It's classic
Leanne. If we'd been better friends then, you would have known about it.
All right, well, make sure you don't ever let that happen again.
I won't let that happen again.
But we were supposed to play with them last March, and there was like this snowstorm. I was up at St. Vitus, and it didn't pan out. Yeah. So it's still on my to-do list to
I'm gonna have to
see
take
them.
I'm gonna have to take that trip up to you with Brooklyn on the 23rd of February.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys are playing up
For
there?
Witch Kiss?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are welcome to come with us.
I'll tag along.
Yeah. But I've also been listening to Beastmaker. I love Beastmaker. Yeah. And there's this new wind hand, John, that, like, okay, here's the thing. So I got a Google Home for Christmas, and so...
What's a Google Home?
It's like a little music player that you can hook up to Spotify, but you talk to it. And there's all these rumors that, like, the government's spying on you. I personally don't care. They can know whatever they want to know about me.
I don't think those are rumors, but it's okay.
Whatever. So I'll just, like, when I go in the shower at night...
I mean, your phone already does that, though, so...
No, not like Google Home. It's the best. But I'll be like, you have to say, okay, Google. And I'll be like, okay, Google, please play. I'm always very polite to her.
Why?
Because... I don't know. She's like really good to me.
I mean, you don't
she
have
does
to.
Everything I say.
You don't have to worry about like Terminator scenario. Take your aggression out on her.
No, I like to be polite to my girlfriends.
I mean, robots are never actually going to take over the world. Like that's not going to happen. But it's okay.
Anyway, so I'd be like, okay, Google, play Wind Hand, and then she starts playing all my jams. But then like the other day I was in the shower and it started playing like this one song, and I was like, what is that? It was a new Wind Hand song. And I was like, is this just one I haven't heard, or what is it? So when we were at Dorothea's house, I was like, Dorothea, what is this new song? She's like, oh yeah, it's a new song. It is freaking awesome. It's really good. I can't remember what it's called because it just keeps like playing by itself on my playlist. But it's really fucking good. I texted her and was like, dude, this is good. And she said, thank you.
Awesome.
So that's what I've been doing.
That's
showering and listening to music.
Your fans are interested in you showering, I'm sure. But that's...
Well, some people like to start rumors that I smell bad. You did.
Yeah.
You did.
I didn't start the rumor. I talked to you directly about it.
I did.
And it was an evening that actually...
Somebody rubbed their smell on me that Dante was like, ew. And
they are very effervescent.
The smell wasn't me.
Is that the right word? Effervescent? Is that the right...
Or stinky.
Stinky is definitely the right word. God awful. Smelled like shit.
Yeah, smelled bad.
And
okay,
literally rubbed it all over you.
So I was at this show, and I won't say who it was, but he was performing, and he had his clothes taken off, and he went... I was, like, singing along, so he, like, grabbed my head and put it under his, like, armpit.
Right after he poured a beer on himself.
Yeah, and I was like... And then afterwards, I ran into you.
And you gave me a big old hug.
You gave me a hug. And I was just like... and you were like, ew, it smells. But then, like, you kept... In Las Vegas, that's when it was. You were like, hey, you really smelled that one day, like, a month ago. And I was like, no. And you were like, yeah. And I was like, no. But we found out it was this other guy's smell. It wasn't me.
Like I said, if I didn't like you, I wouldn't talk to you. How's that?
I appreciate that. I wouldn't answer your text messages either. But now I can't find things we've talked about because we talked too much. And now I'm just like, oh, I cannot remember that important thing he told me. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But that is the end of part 1. We will be back with Andy Martin from Clamfight. Mm-hmm. And that should be fucking hell yeah.
Peace.
Welcome back. We are joined with Andy Martin from Clamfight.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
Yeah, good, man.
I'd say you are very handsome in person.
Oh, stop.
Yes. I've only been able to view pictures online.
You smoothie?
So he's in a band called Clamfight, which is freaking awesome. Now, how long have you been fighting clams?
Oh, God, way too long. I think we kind of started in, like, 2002 and then started, like, actually playing out in, like, 2005.
That is much longer than I was anticipating.
Yeah.
And you've only released, what, the third album just came out?
Yeah, just the third record just came out 2 weeks ago. So,
cool.
Yeah, we're slow.
Okay.
Basically.
So you fight clams by night, and you, what do you do by day?
I am an archaeologist. So, I dig up old stuff that people left behind.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's the most exciting thing you've ever uncovered?
Ooh, that's tricky. So there's a site that I'm involved with in Scotland, and I've been there in the summer for like 7 years, I think, at this point, and found the back end of the building that I'd been working on for like 5 years. And that's, I know, like kind of boring and not the sexiest thing in the world, but it was like we had limits to this building that we had been chasing for years at that point. So that right there, I mean, I know it was a stone corner, but like
that is really cool.
Yeah, it was something I'd been like sort of dreaming about for years. So
are you involved?
What kind of era was the building?
It's late Neolithic, so roughly 5,000 years ago.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Are you involved in like the actual digging?
Oh,
or are
yeah.
you just like kind of coordinating, like, all right, you do that and you do that, and I'm gonna drink this coffee.
Yeah, I have a pith helmet, and I just sort of stand and
a beer
people.
helmet. That's what you need.
Yeah, I do fucking need that. No, yeah, I mean there's I do some of the coordinating stuff, you know, more of it over here than over there, but I'm also doing a lot of digging too. I mean, I'm lucky enough to work for a small company over here, so I get to still. I mean, I spend all day out there digging today. You know. So.
What does the process look like if you're trying to like dig through shit, but also not destroy what you're trying to find? I've always wondered that.
Well, it's a weird mix of, you know, because sometimes really, you know, you do hammer the shit out of stuff on occasion, like you just do. I mean, you know, we're talking about a building that's been pulled down, and inside of itself, it's rubble and everything else. So
sometimes
I mean,
you're just looking for different soil levels.
And absolutely, yeah. So it can really be as subtle as going after things with a razor blade, or I mean, I have done and continue to do a hell of a lot of pickaxing in my career. You know, so
is it like a situational thing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, like, you know, you're sort of not going to go after a human skeleton with like a pickaxe, you know,
might.
or like some sort of
that would be a living skeleton.
yeah, to make them more archaeology, but like, or to go after like, you know, like some subtle soil difference. Yeah, I mean, you can be pretty gentle with that, but then I mean, there's a lot of it that's just brute labor. I mean, it's just absolute, you know, shovels, pickaxes, and I mean, if you're talking sort of bigger urban sites or industrial sites, you know, we're gonna get into doing stuff with backhoes and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it's kind of
You just kind of sift through it a little bit. Or?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, when you're chasing structural stuff, there might be like less of the sifting, but absolutely on like, if you're looking for sort of, you know, more ephemeral stuff, if you're looking for a spot where somebody's making stone tools or something like that,
sure.
I mean, you can be, you know, you'll absolutely be screening that stuff, and you can be screening it down to like, you know, really tiny like 1/8-inch screens. So I mean, you're getting like just the smallest little bits of stuff that came off of making stone tools. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Just because that wasn't exciting enough, you're like, I'm gonna start a band.
Yeah, I just I have this, I guess, aversion to stability and making a lot of money. You know, so like it's just
yes, the key to life.
Yeah, so it's like, all right,
money is not the key, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just it. I mean, like,
no, it's finding the balance of how to make all the things happen that you want to see happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like a hideous child who just keeps doing things that he likes to do, basically, and
there's nothing wrong.
No,
with
That's
I mean,
a dream.
Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, it's, you know, it's what it is, but yeah. And,
how do you find time to do both?
Well, I mean, that's so, you know, Dante kind of mentioned earlier that we've been a band for 1,000,000 years, and we've only got 3 records out, and definitely, you know, we started recording the record that came out a week ago in 2015, and between me disappearing for months at a shot for work, and then the guy who recorded it disappearing because he does sound for this indie band, you know, it's a big part of why our releases sometimes are so slow, because I'm just not around.
So I understand that you drum for the band, and you also sing.
Yep.
And do you write all the music, too?
Well, I mean, I write all the lyrics for sure, and the writing process is kind of mostly Sean McKee, our lead guitar player, and I, and then the other guys are kind of more editing and sort of reining in our ridiculousness.
Okay.
But.
And how much does the archaeology influence the lyrics?
Certainly on every record, there's absolutely been a few tracks in this, and the new one is really kind of all about Orkney, which is the place in Scotland where I've been digging, and then also just about it sort of lyrically, the inspiration about that constant thing of me going away and not being home is like the theme that kind of runs through that whole record. So yeah, I mean, this record is definitely the most archaeology based record we've had. So
that's cool.
It's a great record. Like,
Thanks,
I've been listening to it a lot. It's gotten a lot of good press. Out in Decibel.
Yeah, man.
JJ on the Obelisk gave you lots of love. So
yeah, I mean, it's crazy. We're really, I mean, we believed in it. We liked it. We didn't hate it like the way you do when you're sort of like you nitpick your own recording to death and like you
absolutely.
can kind of be sick of it before it comes out. And we still liked it before it came out, but we're still surprised by how much people.
Well, I think it sounds great.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, that's sick.
Thanks.
And what would you say that you've played numerous shows? What would you say is your favorite? Like, my personal favorite when I got to see you guys open up for I Hate God at Vitus. That was definitely, and I think that was one of the first times you were playing some of the new songs off the new record
definitely.
as well.
Yeah, and
you had just such a tight set for that. It sounded great.
I mean, that was a dream come true for me. I mean, I've just loved I Hate God since I was probably like just out of high school. And I mean, it's one of my absolute favorite bands. So just, from just opening for them, and like I mean, they're not a hard band to meet. If you go to enough I Hate God shows, you've sort of met them all anyway. But like, getting to kind of shoot the shit with them a little bit, and again, like, our dumb name on the same flyer as I Hate God was pretty fucking spectacular.
Your name's not dumb.
Wow, it's pretty dumb, but I mean,
I like it.
Thanks, man. I mean, I just think that we're like...
I've never thought there was anything wrong with it, but some people think it's ridiculous. But
yeah, I mean,
I think you get out of here. Stupid.
I just think, I mean, for us too, it's just like, we're just such suburban South Jersey assholes that like to play with a sort of like band like I Hate God, or like when we played with Scott Kelly, which was another incredible experience. Like, it's like one of these things that like, holy shit, like this is kind of not, a thing that should happen to us.
I understand the feeling.
But when you play good music, those things happen.
Yeah, and I'm not, we work, we work hard at it. So I mean, I get it, but it's still just fucking cool. But yeah, I guess, I don't know, like probably for our favorite shows, I mean, they're random shows, but like a million years ago, we played some insane squat in Baltimore that it was like, I think it was called the Copycat Annex, and it was like,
I remember the Copycat.
4 or 5 stories up with like a sort of janky, sometimes working fucking freight elevator, and it was like 8 bands. Everybody was really, really different. Like it was like sort of like a kind of like crust punk bluegrass band, like opened the show, and we didn't know like how this was going to go.
Yeah.
And I mean, they were just kids like jumping off my drum set. Like it was fucking incredible. And it was really amazing. And we had another show like that when we were in Orlando with our besties, Hollow Leg and Shroud Eater. And we were down there with
awesome.
Absolutely
great bands. Yeah.
Fucking incredible bands, fucking great people. And we played this place, Uncle Lou's, down there. And it was it was the same deal. Just like it was a lot like the Florida equivalent of JR's. Like if you remember good old JR's.
I am familiar with JR's.
I've heard stories. Century is more of the current JR's. Like, so
yeah. And
and
you're probably right. That Uncle Lou's is probably because Uncle Lou's like JR's always had that like sort of like really gross old South Philly dude component to it. That
and the massive bottleneck. But like you could look up and see all the T-shirts from the bands that played, and anyone who was anyone played there at some point.
Fuck yeah.
Like,
and I mean, and that's, I think, and that's kind of like, and that's absolutely, what Century is now. And, yeah, man, and this place, Uncle Lou's, was just like that. It was like the Orlando. I mean, again, it's Orlando. You think of fucking Mickey Mouse and shit. You don't think of like all these kids just going absolutely apeshit. And they'd never, and I think at that point when we played there, our last record had been out for like a while. And, these kids had definitely never like seen us or heard of us. And they went off, and it was fucking incredible. Like, it was just such
There's
a good
something
show.
to be said for that, man.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Yeah.
It's awesome.
I think seeing you destroy it, yes. I can,
so
I'm
going to ask you both a question here. I'm going to try and be as anonymous as possible because I don't want to call anyone out. But there was a band. Grammys just happened. But there was a band over the summer. They got nominated for the Grammys. But right after they got nominated, they were currently on a tour. But they broke tour to go do the nighttime television gig instead of playing to their fans who got them to there in the first place. Think that's cool?
Nah, it's horseshit. I'm trying. yeah, I'm not
Like, I mean, I know it's cool to be able to play on, like, late night TV, whatever that is, but at the same time, like, your fans got you there.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I mean, especially, I think, if...
I have some mixed feelings about it. The thing that I want to say about it is that when you're a band and you're making decisions, you can only do it to the best of your ability, and people are quick to judge when there's sometimes more to the situation than everybody might be familiar with. So, said band, I'd like to give them the benefit of the doubt that I don't have all of the information, and I'm not gonna...
Give it a couple hours notice before canceling because they're halfway across the country.
I'm not changing my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
I think it was. I mean, I get it from a PR standpoint. Like, that's like, oh, you just got nominated for a Grammy. Let's hit you on all the publicity we can get you. But at the same time, you have shows booked.
I'm not saying that you're right, but you also are not wrong. I don't know.
That's fine. I could be wrong. I'm just saying personally, I was at one of those shows. I was supposed to be at one of those shows, and it didn't happen. So...
I don't know. I try not to say much about things I know nothing
So maybe
about,
it's a little bit more personal because I was like, I wanted to see it and it didn't happen.
That's fair, Dante.
And I traveled. I was halfway across the country when that happened. So like,
man, I'm gonna have to find out who this was after the fact and see how much I put my foot in my mouth. But I don't know. I mean, like,
at all.
No, I think. I mean, like, there's extent to it too. I mean, I just, because some of the thing with the show too is, I mean, like, look, there's some dude at that show or woman who've like, they've like that is the time they've blocked out for that. Mm-hmm. They work their ass off at some shitty job, and like that show is the one fucking show that they've been thinking about for like 3 months, and then like,
hours beforehand, it's gone.
I mean, I think that's a little. I mean, even if they kind of pull the old reschedule thing, like it's still like people have lives,
they
man.
Did not, but
I think that's extra shitty. I mean, like. Because again, I mean, it's just like sitter for the kids that are kind of annoying me, and like we're gonna, it's
perfectly understand if a band's under the weather, they're sick, like anything along those lines. Like they just don't think they're gonna give the performance the crowd deserves. That's understandable, but to go do something else, like it's a little different. It irks me a little bit the wrong way.
Well, I want to because I don't want to out whoever it is. I'm just curious, like.
I'm not going to
No,
say.
I know. No, I'm just curious about how my own perception of this would change depending on what...
If you were in that situation?
Well, no. What
you got nominated. No. You've been nominated for a Grammy.
No, I'm just going to say no, but my question is like, what is the Late Show host? You know what I mean? Like fuck Kimmel. You know what I mean?
Well,
like...
They hit the majority of all three.
Oh, one of those days.
They got Bam Bam Bam.
Gotcha.
It wasn't just one. It was.
I just meant like I don't know, like if it was like Colbert who was like, "Hey, come play this thing," I'd be a little bit like, "All right, well maybe," or like Conan. But if it was like what's his nuts, Fallon. That's what I meant, not Kimmel. Like it was fucking Fallon. I'd be like. I don't know.
They're all the same.
I don't even know who they are. I don't watch it.
I don't like Fallon. I think he's.
So you recently put out some new music.
Yeah.
What are your goals for this year?
I mean, so we're it's weird for us because we're like old dudes with like jobby jobs. So like we had a couple of like sort of career shifts within us recently. So we can't really do anything more than weekenders until the fall. So we're kind of on the weekender thing. Yeah. So I mean,
fall's like the end of the year.
Well, kind of. I mean, but like we'll be good. I think about September, October. So we're like starting to get the wheels running. Like I think absolutely going to go down south for like a week in the fall because that's always been.
So you have like another 4 shows booked with King Destroy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's going to be like I mean that's our sort of best pals on earth.
No, they rule.
Yeah, no, they're fucking just like they're absolutely our best dudes, and that's I mean like. And ideally, I'd love to go do more than we do a long string of shows with them and just absolutely have them destroy our livers. Because those fuckers can drink, Jesus. But I think it'll probably be trying to go down south and hook up with Hollow Leg and Trout Eater, and hopefully Holly Hunt if the stars align enough. Because we somehow tripped our way into that Florida scene and the best people.
I'm waiting for Shroud Eater to come back up here because Glass was I think it was they had the family emergency when
Well, no, what happened was it was the hurricane.
It was a hurricane, yeah. They had the show book scheduled,
Yeah.
and it was a hurricane, and they had to fucking book it down to make sure shit was boarded up.
Yeah, I managed to catch him. I was lucky enough. I was working in North Jersey at the time, so I managed to catch him in Brooklyn. So I at least got to hang out with him. But yeah, it was I don't know, man. They are and Jan and Gene are on a record.
I mean, that is perfectly an acceptable reason. I mean, you got to make sure your shit's taken care
Well, that's
of.
it. I mean, they're like our favorite people on earth, but like they're sometimes weirdly a little bit cursed when it comes to like Philadelphia.
Yeah,
like shit has a way of coming up. I mean, that was how we got tight with them initially because their van broke in Philly, and they had to stay with Sean and I for a couple of days as they and it sucked because they missed a couple of great shows on that tour, but like.
Shit happens. You just gotta roll with it.
Yeah, and I mean, they're really like some of our closest friends in music, and like it kind of happened because they had to camp out with us for a few days. So
I'm sure they appreciated that.
So you guys have both kind of a 7 Ways to Kevin Bacon thing going on right now. You're the OG drummer from Heavy Temple,
I am.
and she is the newest member of Heavy Temple, rocking.
Yeah.
So,
oh man,
like
the alpha and the omega.
Yeah,
the chicken and the egg or whatever.
Yeah. Cool. I don't know.
I mean, like I saw you guys the other night and you fucking shred. So.
Thank you. I wish I could have seen you do that with Heavy Temple.
it was just more shirtless, I think, unless there's shows of yours I've missed. I don't know.
Speaking of shirtless, fun fact about Andy is he in fact has 3 nipples, and I'm not making this up.
it's a possible.
It's an equivocal nipple, but I believe it's a.
I saw it.
I
saw it. It's there. No, I'm confirming right now for the world 3.
Yeah.
Count them 3.
Leanne says nipple, so it's a nipple.
Yep. Yes.
Fist bones to every episode talking about nipples.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
I'm glad to help you continue that really easily.
Yeah. Thanks.
She was insistent on the fact that it wasn't going to happen this time. So, but
Really?
she made it happen.
I tried to be like, hey, how about we not talk about nipples this time and try to be serious? But
it was
keeps
originally
creeping
my
its
role,
way.
but
Yeah. Well, you know what happens with your roles.
yeah,
I get rid of them.
Jeez.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
What's your favorite thing to sing in the car?
Oh, fuck. That's really
I mean,
good.
especially I don't have a car, so I wouldn't know that answer.
Well, I didn't ask you.
That's good.
I mean, it's probably. I kind of don't listen to almost any metal at this point, so it's probably
okay.
like I've really. It's like a real old man move. I've gotten really hooked on like Drive-By Truckers and Jason Isbell over the last year. So
I love Jason Isbell. I like Jason Isbell a lot, and his music, and his wife is super cute.
Yeah. So yeah, it's probably.
I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. It's okay.
He's kind of like a folky kind of sort of
dig that.
singer-songwriter kind of vibe, but I like that shit.
Yeah. So that's that's probably what I'm warbling in the car. That or like that. I was absolutely apeshit over that Cyril Simpson record, and so that's the other thing that's probably like. If I'm warbling to anything in the car, it's probably that.
Yeah. I have this thing that I do that I'll listen. It doesn't matter what music it is, but I like to change the words to be about Heavy Temple. It's never good. It's never good.
I mean, it's kind of adorable, but you know.
Well, some of them stick. Dante's heard a lot of my repertoire because I like to sing them.
I don't always
a
like
lot.
them, but yeah.
Well, they get.
Our fans have heard it too.
Well,
so.
I make them public. Absolutely. But I got nothing better to freaking do. But also, I come over to Dante's and I was singing a fucking song up here, and then I turn around and I hear him setting up, and he starts singing it too.
Jesus.
The fucking Bloodhound Gang song.
Well, yeah. I know Bloodhound Gang. Why not?
When I first met him, he was like, "Oh, like I don't sing. I don't like to sing." I've heard you sing a lot. In the
No. I didn't say I don't sing. I said I sound horrible when I sing.
I like it. It's endearing.
Well, if you like nails on a chalkboard, that's fine. Like, I mean, that's up to you.
I do.
Okay.
When I was, I think I was 10, I didn't know much about rock and roll. I didn't play guitar. My brother handed me AC/DC's Back in Black and was like, you're probably gonna hate this, but, like, check it out. And I turned it on my CD player, and I, like, hit play, and Hell's Bells came on. Changed my fucking life, right? I was like, what the hell is this? But in a good way. I loved it. And I've been playing guitar. Angus Young's my favorite guitar player. Yeah. But I'm bringing this up because I wanted to ask you, did you ever have, like, a moment like that? Like, what made you want to play?
I mean...
Specifically the drums.
Yeah, I mean, I remember being... And I remember being a really, really little kid and, like, kind of, sort of slightly rednecky, like, just grew up, like, fishing all the time and stuff. And I remember being, like, really, really little and, like, driving from suburban South Jersey to Ocean City super, super early with my dad, and, like, MMR was on. And I remember hearing on, like, sort of two, it couldn't have been the same trip, but it had to be two different trips. Like, I remember early in the morning hearing, like, Immigrant Song and Kashmir. Mm-hmm. And they both just sounded like dinosaurs.
Right.
Like, just those giant drums. And I was a huge dinosaur nerd, too, obviously. And, like, it connected something.
When they sound like dinosaurs, that's what you know. Yeah, it's
that's
your
the fucking one.
It's your passion.
Well, and the other thing, and this is true, and I think it, like, might, like, sort of speak to my own, like, deep laziness, is that when I was a kid, like, one of the first bands I really flipped my shit over was, like, Def Leppard. Like, I really went fucking nuts for Def Leppard, and I think there was this part of me as, like, an 8-year-old when it's, like, you're about to hit third grade and pick that first instrument, where, like, I, like, loved Rick Allen, and I wonder sometimes if, like, the fact that I saw this, like, sort of, like, one-armed dude, like, playing this, and thought, like, oh, yeah, if, like, one-armed dude can do this, like, probably I can pull this off. Like, I don't know. So I think, like, maybe I'm, like, deeply lazy now, and it's not to take anything for Rick Allen, because I know he's got that crazy foot pedal set up, but also, like, he kind of punched his wife a bit, so, like, fuck Rick Allen. Like,
that's not cool.
He's not a good dude, so.
That's not cool.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know anything about that.
Way to have a Bloodhound Gang callback there as well, with the drummer from Def Leppard only has one arm. But,
I didn't realize this was going to be so Bloodhound Gang-centric.
I don't know. As soon as you told me you had 3 nipples, I was like, it's like, this dude knows what's up. Sorry.
So, you have anything coming up for Clamfight you want to plug?
Yeah, I handily wrote some stuff on the arm. So, we were looking at the proofs for the layout for the vinyl, finally. Mm-hmm. So, Elder Magic, a lovely label out of Tennessee, is going to put that out later in the spring. So, that's going to happen. And I guess we're at Century at the end of March, on the 25th of March.
Do you write your to-do list on your body also?
Yes.
Because I do on my hand, too.
See?
Look, it says Clamfight questions. It says Clamfight questions.
I'm so fucking honored to have made the back of your hand.
Yes.
Yeah, man. So 325 at Century, we're playing with Begotten. Yeah, and fucking spectacular Man's Ruin Doom band, and Robbie from Kings Destroy, one of my absolute favorite people on earth, plays drums.
Okay.
And I saw them actually with fucking Shroud Eater in September. They were great. And then we're playing like Trenton the week after that, and I guess the end of April. We're going to do, I think, kind of a Rust Belt weekender in, like, Scranton and Rochester. I think both shows with Brain Candle, so that'll be a hoot.
Cool.
Brain Candle's good.
Yeah, they're fucking beasts.
It's Dave Fox still in Brain Candle?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. So.
Yeah, we actually, this is good. We played Brooklyn and Worcester with them in the fall, and so if we're in a hotel, we like to draw dicks on paper airplanes. I actually think Dante witnessed this in Queens when we were playing out the window. And so we draw dicks on paper airplanes, and like we whip them out the window. And so I have a very specific style of dick drawing, and Sean, our lead guitar player, is a really spectacular paper airplane maker. And so you're
gonna have to send me a picture of one of your dicks.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
I'm gonna put it up for everybody to see.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Send me
I will.
A picture of your dick. I'll put it up on the internet. That's what you just said.
Consider it done. So We've got our standard thing going, and then so we're in this, I don't know, fucking Holiday Inn or whatever in Worcester, and we've, of course, it's both bands in our hotel room, and like we got Dave Fox, one of the arguably like fucking best American tattoo artists, just a fucking art machine, and it's like, come on, Dave, do one. And like Dave drew the most disturbing dick, and it's incredible. It's a great dick, but it's just like terrifying in a lot of ways. It's like a sort of like almost like hell, like fucking Hellraiser via like Pusshead, like terrifying dick. And so like we then took this like, you know, original OG like Dave Fox artwork and made a beautiful paper airplane out of it and bombed it out a fucking window in Worcester, Mass.
That you mentioned that because we were just talking about how I have no tattoos because I don't know what to get.
Yeah, I think
if
you should
you
talk
have
to Dave.
said picture, you know, I have a body of no tattoos.
See, there you go.
And on the note of dicks, we're gonna end this.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah, man.
Boom.
I don't know what to do
No,
here. Group. Yes. Group.
Yes.
We got this. Thank you.
Until maybe next week or the following week.
Yeah. Well, it's bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly.
So we got some good guests coming up.
Thank you for being on our show.
And thank you for having me, man. Oh, you guys. Oh. Oh, thanks.